Hello guys, and welcome to my very first cooking video. Starting off, it's dodgy. Have to be filming off my phone as I did just set up my camera with prime video quality, but it's gone flat, so we'll have to make do with this. But I'm just too excited, I just couldn't wait. So without further ado, let's check out the ingredients for today's recipe. With one short gaze upon these ingredients, I'm sure you can guess what we're making based on these very average looking bananas. Today we will be making some banana bread. So starting off, you'll need 2 bowls, one for wet ingredients, one for dry, bananas, eggs, all the normal cooking supplies and equipment that you will need, and I will have that all come up on the side. But first of all, without further ado, let's get all of this all measured out and ready to go. Much better. Now that we've got all our ingredients measured out and ready to be put together, I'll put up on the side here about the exact measurements of everything so you can be nice and prepared as I am before we start to put everything together. First, you're going to want to put your bananas into a bowl and mash until you get a fine consistency. Some fun facts while I go to town at these bananas: at over 10,000 years old, bananas are the world's oldest fruit. The banana is also a good fruit source of vitamin B6, which contributes to happier moods. When the banana starts to have the visuals and consistency of something your dog would throw up, then you're just about ready. Just from here, you're just going to want to add the remaining of your wet ingredients. The history of banana bread actually originates from the United States in the early 1900s. It was a theory that was created by enterprising housewives who were looking for ways to use overripe bananas before they went bad. Why is it called banana bread and not cake, you might ask? Well, only because of the loaf tin it is typically baked in and the way that it is sliced that is like bread. After combining all wet ingredients, you should have a consistency of something your dog threw up again. From here, you're just going to want to tip in all the dry ingredients. One of the earliest known recipes for banana bread, it appeared in Pillsbury's 1933 balanced recipe books. This recipe used mashed bananas, flour, sugar, eggs, baking soda, thick sour cream, and salt. Over time, other ingredients like cinnamon and vanilla extract and chopped nuts were added to the basic recipe to give banana bread an even more flavorful and abundant texture. Just mixing thoroughly so all the dry ingredients are incorporated well together. From here, you're going to add your dry ingredients to your wet and mix until just combined. You want to be careful not to overmix, otherwise you'll get a bit more of a tougher texture. Overmixing can lead to a tougher and denser texture in the banana bread, which isn't what we're really going for here. Our end result, we want to have a nice, moist and soft banana bread. Now here's an example of just combined, because we don't want to overmix, because we will still be mixing in the coconut oil and your add-ins of choice. Here I added some chopped cashews and dates. The nut of choice is because it's what I had handy in the pantry, and I always love to switch out chocolate chips or more processed sugars with dates, because it is more of a natural sugar, and you'll find that it actually adds a very, very lovely taste to the banana bread as it melts when it's cooked. So I definitely recommend swapping out some chocolate chips for some chopped dates. Interestingly enough, dates similar to bananas can also contribute to help boosting brain health, so they make a lovely combination for this sweet treat. When it comes to the baking dish, any baking tin will do. Here I've gone with a ceramic, but what I'd really recommend is, rather than just going ahead and pouring it all in, to put a few scoops at the bottom to hold that paper in there. I've had a few times where I've gone a little bit too overboard and I've made a mess, so really do recommend putting a few blobs of banana bread on the bottom just to stabilize everything before tipping the whole thing in. Now this is actually my favourite part about baking the banana bread, which is actually the end, which is the presentation. I always love to, if I've got another kind of manky banana on hand, it's always fun to cut that in half and use it as a decoration on top of the banana bread, which can also help enhance the flavour, as when the banana is exposed to the heat of the oven, it tends to caramelise a bit on the top, which can add a really nice, yummy, extra sweet, ooey gooey type texture that just melts in your mouth. And I really, really recommend this. But yeah, you can get creative and come up with any decorations that you would like. I also really, really like adding a seed mix on the top for the extra protein and crunch. It adds a really, really nice texture when it's crispened in the oven, and also makes it look very pretty. I just love making my food creative and kind of turning it into a work of art, and it really does turn to that in the end result. So here it is. Now the banana bread's successfully in the oven. We'll have to wait for it to bake for about 50 to 60 minutes depending on the oven. So while you're waiting in that time for your delicious treat to be ready, now it's time to deal with the aftermath. And after quite the speedy cleanup, I just wanted to put out there some words of encouragement for those who are just as passionate about cooking, but just don't really have the amazing spaces that you would see online cooking influencers have. Honestly, if you've got the passion and you've just got the absolute love for it, anything is possible with what you've got. So I really hope I can inspire a few with my video series, just showing you the types of recipes that I actually am capable of cooking in a smaller space with more limited equipment. So I really hope you can join along with me with my new cooking series and make some beautiful, nourishing recipes in your more smaller spaces, and I really look forward to sharing more recipes. Okay, so it's been about an hour or so. The kitchen's cleaned and the banana bread smells absolutely sensational. So I think it's about time I go grab her out of the oven. And that's how you bake a banana bread.